We are proud to present the Assistive Robotic Manipulator, commonly called the iARM. This mobile robot arm has been developed for people with restricted arm or hand movements. The iARM can mostly compensate for the arm and hand restriction and provide self-help and independence. I'm Nicole Trump, and I have virtually no hand movement because of a muscle disease. Thanks to the robot arm, this problem is largely overcome. Until February of this year, I lived in a nursing home, and now I live independently. Nicole is extremely independent. With the arm, she can put on and take off her own glasses, scratch her forehead, and position her arm. She can feed herself a sandwich and pick up anything that has fallen on the floor. This means she needs a lot less help. I've used the robot arm for about 6 years. It has given me a lot more independence. I can now do much more than before. Feed myself, drink, pick up things, open things, push an elevator button, too many things to mention. This means that I need less help. I never like having to constantly ask people to help me. I hate that.
Iemand te vragen om mij te helpen. Daar heb ik een hekel aan.
Ik weet
I'm Viola, and thanks to the robot arm, I live independently with my husband and young son in our house in Arnhem. Because of the robot arm, I no longer feel handicapped, but only restricted. Now I can do a lot myself, like picking up things, folding diapers, holding a feeding bottle, playing with my dog, and other activities. If my wheelchair is broken and I can't use the robot arm, then I've got a major problem. It means I have to lay in bed the whole day. It also means I can't eat because I can't feed myself. Then I really feel handicapped, but luckily that doesn't happen too often. When I often eat out with my husband, I can feed myself. I don't always have to ask him, give me another spoonful of food.
Kijk eens, ga lekker neer. Zit. Zo.
Ik ben Mirjam van Ooyen.
I'm Miriam Van Ooyen. I work as an occupational therapist in Amstelrad. Amstelrad is one of the 4 contact centers for the robot arm. Anybody who is interested in the robot arm and would like to have one can apply either via the supplier or via the contact center itself. As soon as we receive a request, we organize an appointment to visit the client for an intake assessment. We bring the robot arm with us and set it up as a standalone system next to the wheelchair. The client can then personally try it out under supervision.
Hiermee ga je dus straks uitsturen. Je mag hem uitvouwen en dan mag je op nummer 1 drukken. En dat mag je doen totdat hij stopt. Dan geeft hij een piepje, dan weet je zeker dat hij klaar is. Tijdens die test zie ik dan vaak dingen die je...
During the test, I often notice things that are not always evident during the interview. For example, is the person cognitive enough to use the robot arm?
En mensen die ik bijvoorbeeld tijdens de test voor het eerst laat drinken uit een glas of iets laat eten.
And for some people who drink out of a glass or feed themselves during the evaluation, you often see how amazed they are that they can do something they were unable to do.
Dat zij dat nu zelf kunnen. Dat ze zelf
they can now determine their own pace and decide for themselves, now I'm going to take a bite. It's going to take me this long to chew. You see the clear advantage and the real improvement in their quality of life.
Je ziet dat het kwaliteit van leven echt wordt verhoogd.
An arm user is less dependent on others. This means a cost saving on professional care. The arm can be operated with a keypad, the wheelchair joystick, or a number of buttons. It isn't necessary to adapt the living or work environment to be able to use the arm. Apollonia and Hupp work for Netzo, a company that designs and reproduces printed materials. They are both professional designers.
Een paar jaar terug kon ik mijn armen nog goed gebruiken.
Until a couple of years ago, I had no problem with my arms and I enjoyed drawing and painting, but I can't do that anymore. Now I use the computer with the help of my robot arm.
Ja, daar gebruik ik mijn robotarm ook voor. Ja.
Apollonia also has discussions with clients. She can now offer them a cookie. That often breaks the ice and allows friendlier communication. Hupp does the same work as Apollonia, like designing the wine card for the restaurant or designing a guidebook. Hupp doesn't finish with the computer after work. His hobby is burning films onto DVDs. He does that by himself at home with the help of his robot arm.
Hartstikke mooi, want ik kan ook andere mensen helpen.
I can also help other people. I even helped somebody with a drink. That gives a real kick. I also own a small company where I design websites for others.
Ik maak dus websites voor derden. Ja.
The arm makes it possible to function in society. The user is not only less dependent on others, but can also play an active role in the community. This would be unimaginable without the arm.
Ik heb Joost, toen ik de arm net had, in zijn neus geknepen.
Just after I got the arm, I pinched Joost on the nose. But I couldn't open the gripper because I was laughing so much. Joost was stuck for a while with the gripper on his nose. But I've also tugged on the ear of a friend of ours who's got relatively big ears. The robot arm can largely compensate for a restricted arm or hand function. It makes you less dependent on others. Now you're back in the driver's seat.